Hello, I am Gitta Ben David and I'm sitting here in Gilalai Garden in a very hot summer 2018. Our fruits have never given, our trees have never given so many fruits. You see here I'm sitting with cherries, a lot of cherries here. Bordeaux color, my favorite fruit. And I've been eating a lot of them while I'm writing a book about the pineal gland now and Hong Song. My students in the International Education for the Note from Heaven have asked for a film in English about Hong Song, which I will do now. The reason why I mention the cherries is a brand new experience I just had. I'm eating a lot of them, and the effect of them seem to be detoxing me. And I found out that the cherries are linked to the pineal gland. But now I'll come to the Hong Song and you will understand in the end. Hong Song is a sound like this. It's not a sound sing hong, but the undertones of the ng and the ha will lift the note up in the, so that the soft palate in the back of the mouth will lift up, and the pressure will be increased on the pituitary, which is inside the head up here, and which is working very closely together with the hypothalamus, which is the beak of the inner bird head that you have inside. The beak is here. It's like this, and the beak is there, and the pituitary is hanging out of the mouth of this, the beak of the bird. And in the neck of this bird head is of course much smaller than this hand. In the neck of the bird head is the pineal gland. The pineal gland is in the center, a little bit left back, but in the center here, inside of the head. And normal doctors will call it a cone, maybe today, or a gland. And we have lost the knowledge about the pineal gland, seems like. But in ancient times, this was the most important part of our body almost. When I sing hung, I sing into the pineal gland, and I will go through all the glands of the body. Why? Because when I was in the menopause, I'm still in it, but in the beginning of the menopause, the first years, I was suffering from mood swings really drastically. And I thought I could handle it very easy, but it was not that easy. And I know that many women are suffering. And one day I simply had pain in all the body from feeling bad. And also all my joints were aching. You had the hot flushes too, and this is another thing. But everything was aching, and you really feel you get old with a great speed when you get in this menopause. And but it was a depressive mood I wanted to solve. So I went to lay down in our treatment room in the garden, and I searched for a sound that could take this suffering away. The note from heaven, yes, it helped, but it didn't take it like this. And so I found out that the hong, the ng always I've had like this. When you sing the note from heaven, if you want to center yourself inside the oneness, the note from heaven leads you to oneness. Ah, ah. But inside, in the middle, you also have to be there, because otherwise you can just float around in oneness. You have to focus yourself in order to point the energy that you get access to when you go into the oneness level. So the NG is it's a masculine energy. Like the consonants are always like a masculine energy that is pointing things, and the NG is giving energy and focus it. You can focus energy with it. So I did that to the pineal gland. I was trying to get in contact with it, and it started quite fast vibrating when I found the hung sound. Usually the hung is used in ancient burn tradition in the Tibetan shamanic tradition. And they say that it's opening the heart. I did not go into train this kind of shamanic practice, but I tried the sounds, and the hung was what benefited the pineal gland the most for me. It started vibrating. I only do it only a few minutes when it vibrates, because not to get too much energy in the places. Slowly. I go on to the peak, hypothalamus. I pass to the pituitary that's hanging out of the mouth, like inside the third eye. You can watch in the images in the YouTube to be sure about all this. And I went to the thyroid and to the thymus, which is a width of a hand over the heart chakra, the breastbone, up here. Just where I have the microphone, so I won't press it. And the thymus is very important because there's the T cells, the killer cells of the body, maybe also the B cells. That people are not sure about that, but the T cells are matured here, and that's what can, for example, kill cancer cells and all this. So very important also this one to activate it. And then I went to the pancreas. Not so important if it's just for your hormones, but it's good for the sugar levels. And the kidneys and the adrenal glands that's sitting in top of the kidneys, like pyramids in top of the kidneys like this, and they will sit like here up in the top. And they are very, very important for the stress hormones. And they're sitting inside the kidneys, like in the back, but deep inside the solar plexus. You can also imagine them. And then I went to contact the ovaries, and of course a man could go for the lower parts of himself, and the testicles. And then I went down to the root chakra, to the tailbone, and all the way up along the spine, like to vibrate the cerebral spinal fluid, which is inside, and which also is going into the brain up through the neck here. I went all that way up. And the third ventricle, which is like you can call it a lake of this fluid inside the brain, is surrounding the pineal gland. So I went with this lake, with this river up along the central nerve system in the spine and into the brain, and surrounded the pineal gland, and came back to the pineal gland and vibrated once again. It all lasted about around 20 minutes to do this, and I was floating, like I got images back and forth into going on with the glands, and I felt bliss simply after doing this. Felt wonderful. And when I raised, I was light and no depression. It was vanished. So mood changes are really chemical. So it can be changed with the Hong Song. I never had these depressions coming back after this. I've been doing it maybe once a week or whenever I wanted, because it's really wonderful to do this Hong Song. And the good news was that I did not know that it's detoxing the pineal gland. And that's why I write the new book, because I had to go deeper into it. Because in the evening after I did this hung song, I felt a severe pain in my shoulders, in the neck, like I could not hardly move my head. You know, it's really not nice to have this. And I laid down and slept, and I thought I was going to have a flu or something. And then in the night I woke up and I had a big like tumor here. And I thought, oh, it was cancer, you know, very fast developing cancer. And then I just thought, oh, I did this hung song, and this could be the lymph system. So of course it's a swollen lymph, but it was like this, like an egg. So I went down in the kitchen and got some onion, cut it around, put it on with a towel around, and went on sleeping. I kept it on for 24 hours, was laying in the bed, and then it was gone, and no pain anymore. Onion has sulphate inside it. And the sulphate is the body's natural cleaning soap, if you can call it. The pineal gland is producing sulfates. This is something new that Stephanie Seneff has found out. It's a very, very wonderful scientist woman, and from Cambridge in Boston. And she's amazing what she found out. I will not tell you everything here. But anyway, the pineal gland is getting calcified from fluoride in the water, aluminum, all kind of calcium, heavy toxins, all the heavy metals can be there. And you see pineal glands that has been isolated from dead people that, for example, have dementia, Parkinson's, and this, that they are totally calcified. It's totally white, most of the pineal gland. And that is the reason why I think, I have nobody checked me before, but that I had such a severe reaction. Because by shivering it, the pineal gland, by vibrating it with this hung sound, you can simply make some of this dirt detox. And where will it detox to? Through the lymph system. The lymph system. Why? Because of the liquids, the cerebrospinal fluid and all this will take it and it will go through send it out through the lymph system. So it's also, this sound is very much like the purring of a cat. It's an inside sound where you can say the notes that we are sound healing people with is more an outside going sound. It's like you send the energy out from you to someone else. This sound is for self-healing. It's going inside, and it's just like the cherry, because the cherry, the energy from the cherry will always be inside. It's not giving it out, it's going inside. Why I know this? Because I tried to freeze one cherry and I wanted to use it, like ice cubes in my water. It's not making the water cold. It keeps it inside somehow, the cherry. And this is the same energy the pineal gland has, and this cleansing of it is, the hung sound is going inside, it's working inside, not outside. So you have to stay with this NG. So what happens when you do this is that you also will detox your body. And why I know, you could say, okay, it was maybe some calcium or some fluoride you got rid of there, is because that not only was I not depressed anymore and didn't have mood swings anymore, no, my allergy, I had allergy after I've been detoxing very severely after having being lead. I was poisoned with lead and copper and had and Lyme disease together with it, active, and I've been detoxing from this, and I was rid of it. Only thing that was left is that I got allergy then, and I could see it on my right elbow, which turned blue and had water under the skin. Very bad things. I could see it every time I ate bread and milk products. So it was lactose and gluten that I was allergic to. Oh, I said, no, please, should I also have this allergy now? But I accepted it, and this was my thermometer because I could always see the reaction coming straight here. After doing the Hong Song, nothing. I've not had it ever since. I'm not inviting myself to eat all the bad food because of it, but I tried and I had no reaction. So it's gone. Just from one time Hong Song with me, how it functioned with me anyway. And something else, I did not have any pain in my joints anymore. All the joint pain disappeared. And I'm living like I'm not in the menopause now. The only thing I have, I still have some hot flushes, but not that bad. And I have accepted them as something good because I've read that the hot flushes actually helps against cancer. Women that has hot flushes has less cancer. So I'm going to stop now telling you about the Hong Song because you also should read my book when I finish it. And I will just tell you that these cherries that I started up by seems like Detox 2. And I've been reading now about the cherries, what are they doing, which properties do they have for health, and they are purifying the liver, especially when they're that red, but they are also purifying the pineal gland. Why? Because the liver, the heart and the pineal gland are linked together. In Chinese medicine, the pineal gland and the liver is very close, but I tell you that the heart is included too. But you can think about that and see how the Hong Song works on you, and I would gladly hear from you if you have good results. Thank you and enjoy the summer.